This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Topping headlines this morning, 2 teenagers in the hospital with broken bones and concussions. Police say they were attacked in a park. Plus, after 23 years on the run, a man accused of sexually abusing kids in Oregon City walks into the police department. But police say he told them when he turned himself in. Good Sunday morning, everyone, and happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there. And Brittany Falkers alongside Keely Chalmers. Happy Mother's Day to you, Keely.
Thank you. Yes, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. It is going to be a very pleasant day. Not too hot, not too cold. You know, we talk about temperatures getting in the mid-70s is pretty nice, at least for me. I like that. But yeah, we got some clouds out there this morning, so that's going to help keep temperatures on the cooler side, especially out there right now. So heading out the door, certainly grab a jacket. We're at 52 degrees right now. Those winds are calm. We're going to get a shift in the winds from the offshore flow to the onshore flow. That's what's going to bring us the increasing clouds this morning. As well as the cooler temperatures. But those clouds will start to break apart as we head through the day. So here's a look at your Mother's Day forecast. So yeah, we're looking at a cool morning. We'll warm up to about 67 degrees by noon as those clouds really do start clearing. And we're looking at partly to mostly sunny skies by this afternoon, getting up to 76 for a high today. So certainly cooler than the 87 that we got up to yesterday, but still very pleasant out there. Now we do have some precipitation in the forecast, not today, but we do have it in the extended forecast. We'll talk about when that rolls in coming up.
All right. Thanks so much, Keely. Well, in Gresham, 2 teenagers are nursing broken bones, bruises, and concussions. Police say they were attacked on Friday near Gresham's main city park. Now, police are searching for their attackers, and those teens are scared. KGW's Art Edwards has our story.
I'm scared, I'm worried, I'm frustrated, you name it. And mostly I'm shocked and surprised that this happens. It happens and happened here in Gresham.
Anna Morris is still trying to make sense of what happened to her son Logan and his girlfriend Corinne Beck. The two were in Gresham's main city park on Friday when Corinne says someone called her a name. She responded and words were exchanged. Corinne says they tried to leave the park, made it to the skate park, and then were attacked as they tried to cross the street. Corinne got punched in the face, and Logan tried to help her.
My boyfriend pushed him off of me after he punched me in the face, and then they picked up my boyfriend and slammed his head on the curb and cracked his head open.
Logan suffered a broken nose, a laceration to his head, and a concussion. Corinne also suffered a broken nose and a concussion.
I'm definitely not going to go to that park ever again.
Alexandra Keogh and her husband were coming out of a store near the park. Alexandra spotted Corinne in the street. She and her husband rushed over.
We both just knew there was a problem and knew that people needed help, and so we jumped in.
The couple helped break up the fight.
I looked a couple of those kids dead in the eye, and it was like a pack mentality. They just were going and they didn't care. They were just attacking.
Today, Gresham police were at the skate park talking with some of the teenagers there.
I just want kids to be able to walk around, just go get ice cream, cross the street, be safe, be happy, enjoy being a kid, and not have to worry about this happening ever to anyone, ever again.
Now, detectives are still working on this case. No arrests have been made, and if you have information about what happened, you're asked to call Gresham Police. FBI agents say an accused sexual abuser, a man who had been on the run for 23 years, walked into the Oregon City Police Department and turned himself in. His name is Wayne Arthur Silsby. These are the photos the FBI has been passing around for years while he was in hiding. The 62-year-old is accused of sexually abusing multiple girls, 8 to 10 years old, in Clackamas County in 1995 and 1996. Police say these were kids he was either babysitting or, as they put it, taking to events. Here's what officers say he told them when he turned himself in.
He told the officer that he thought he had a warrant.
And he was right.
And he was right.
The FBI says Silsby most recently lived in Nebraska. He also has ties to Northwest Washington, the Bay Area, Springfield, Missouri, Colorado, and Arizona. Authorities now want anyone who has had contact with Silsby over the past 23 years to call Oregon City Police. A Portland mother has a lot of questions after her toddler was badly burned. It happened because of scalding water from the McDonald's at PDX. Emily Dolbeer and 4-year-old Lainey were heading to a vacation at Disneyland. Dolbeer asked if the McDonald's workers could fill up her daughter's sippy cup with water. However, it wasn't until after Lainey took a sip that she realized the water was scalding hot. She says it only took 5 minutes for blisters and sores to develop on Lainey's mouth, tongue, and chest.
This is hotter than I would have drank coffee or tea or anything. It was absolutely burning. It's like a thermo, but it's covered in Disney princesses. Like, why would you even think to put scalding water in a child's water bottle?
Dolbeer says they are monitoring the situation the best that they can. They say Disneyland has been a happy distraction, but her daughter hasn't been acting like herself. Now to the homeless crisis and one city's new solution. About this time last year, Beaverton was banning overnight camping on its sidewalks and in cars on the street. Now the city is allowing camping in cars in some very limited spots. It's called the Safe Parking Pilot Program. KGW's Mike Benner has the details.
In the back corner of a parking lot in Beaverton, you'll notice a green minivan parked in one of a handful of reserved spots. Inside the van, there's a man getting some rest. For him, this is home, at least for now.
To me, it should be a big win.
Denny Doyle is the mayor of Beaverton and a big supporter of the Safe Parking Pilot Program. It's geared towards people experiencing homelessness. The program, managed by the nonprofit Just Compassion, provides a safe and legal place to park, not to mention a portable bathroom and storage for belongings.
You know, I've talked to people in this situation, and when they get put in a group of 500 people in a room, they don't like it. None of us would. So this will give them something familiar, their vehicle, their home in a sense. They'll get to stay in it.
All while taking advantage of different services and, most importantly, transitioning into permanent housing.
They'll have to commit to doing X, Y, and Z because we're really trying to develop a way to get people to stable, fixed housing.
And it's not unheard of. Other communities are doing something similar. In fact, a Lutheran church in Milwaukee is providing several parking spaces for safe overnight camping. Participants will have to be screened and follow a bunch of rules, though some neighbors are protesting the plan.
They need to know people are not coming right in off the street. It's part of a process.
A process we're now seeing take shape in Beaverton, much appreciated by the man resting in his vehicle, his home, until he's back on his feet.
This is not just going to make you feel better. We want to help people on a permanent basis.
Right now, there's only one parking lot that's been okayed for this pilot program. The mayor tells us he expects a few more parking lots to be approved in the coming weeks. Those locations will not be publicly announced for the safety of the campers. Well, crews have now completely lined the Downs fire burning south of Eugene. It broke out Friday, destroying one home near the town of Cottage Grove. It grew to about 90 acres, and people could see a plume of smoke over Eugene. Crews say piled up brush, branches, and leaves near the fire caused it to spread. And with the high threat, for more wildfires to spark, we have a reminder that burn bans, well, they are in place around the Portland metro area. This includes all of Multnomah County, parts of Washington, Clackamas, and Yamhill counties, and areas in southwest Washington. Backyard and agricultural burning is not allowed for at least the rest of the weekend. Today is a day meant to celebrate moms, but for some, this holiday can be painful because it reminds them of a lost child or pregnancy. That in mind, a Portland woman spent her Mother's Day weekend working to make sure those moms know they're not alone.
As people go through that grief process, can be a really meaningful place.
The morning before Mother's Day, Jessica Dorrington finished placing a butterfly at the grave of every child and infant at Mount Calvary Cemetery.
I hope when they walk through the field of butterflies that they'll feel united, but they'll also feel maybe a sense of peace and just realizing that they're loved and celebrated.
About 1,000 of them, each with its own particular pattern and colors.
I wanted them to have markings that were different because the grief process is different and unique for each person.
1 in 4 pregnancies end in miscarriage, and as a physical therapist, Dorrington specializes in treating pelvic floor dysfunction and works with women who've experienced miscarriages or stillbirths.
I get to share a lot of intimate stories with moms, and it often includes loss.
But she also knows the pain of losing a child herself. In 2012, her daughter Abigail was stillborn.
And then coming here to visit our daughter's grave makes you realize that There's a lot of women that loss is part of their story.
With her family by her side, she began placing the symbolic butterflies Friday near Abigail's grave. She says mothers don't just mourn the loss of a child, but also the future hopes and dreams they had for them.
But they still think about their child. They still think about, what would they look like, or what would their laugh sound like, or what would they look on their wedding day. I think every person still has that and kind of has that little special place in their heart.
She hopes this will provide strength and comfort this Mother's Day, that they and their children will not be forgotten.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody, no matter what that looks like.
Dorrington says this is the first time that she's done this, but she plans to do it every Mother's Day from here on out. She's also working on publishing a book to help other moms who've experienced a stillbirth or miscarriage. Well, our moms love and care for us, but this woman, her mom's life-threatening crisis became an inspiration. We're going to share their story coming up in about 12 minutes. But first, a beautiful bloom in the gorge, but there's an updated policy people may not know about for one of the most popular hikes if they want to see the view for themselves.